Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for making me the keynote speaker, mainly the Azadi team. Thank you so much. Speaking at this conference as a keynote speaker and as part of the team that conceptualized this is surreal. It's surreal to me that I'm actually part of the team that made this. Meryl Streep once said that there are days she feels overrated, but not today. And I want to emphasize that feeling today. There are days I feel overrated. There are days people praise me, and I feel this praise doesn't land. Like uh, self-doubt creeps in, but not today. I'm not overrated. I'm exactly who I think I am. Um, I am so proud today of the Azadi team. I'm proud of the human beings that they are. I'm proud of the fact that the work at Azadi is always community first, and that somehow we've managed to learn what that means. It's been painful, but it's wonderful to actually experience what that is, community first, and everything else after. The issue of child domestic work is personal to me, for those that know my story. I struggle to call it that. I struggle to call it that because I call it domestic servitude. But that framing for me is also problematic when I think about the implications as far as the criminal justice system is concerned. But that's not what I'm here today to debate about. I'm sure there are way more intelligent people in the room who will debate about whether we are about what to call it. And I'm sure we are not here to debate about definitions. But yes, for me, it's domestic servitude. And I hope, or maybe I hope, since this is the first convening, I hope that there'll be a second, a third, and a fourth, and I can find time to actually be in the room and make the debate of what we should call it eventually. Maybe we even imagine a new name. Who knows? Life is something that, yeah, allows us to create. So, for those that know me, know that I do not speak of my personal trauma. It's not something I like doing. I once used to do it. I don't do it. I've learned better. I've learned better because I've known that sharing my trauma doesn't always mean healing for me. Neither does it mean that the people listening to me or the audience get educated about the issue and join the movement because suddenly I told them of my personal trauma. I repeat, I do not tell my personal trauma because I do not believe that it brings healing for me or that it educates the audience in any way. Those are my reasons. But today, when I was asked to speak on child domestic work, there's no better person, there's no better place to start from than from my story, right? Because that's my experience. So I thought, what would be the best way for me to frame this? And I thought, I went back to what we say at Azadi, survivor first. We're survivor centered first. And the survivor here is 13-year-old Sophie. And I asked myself, what is the love letter that I would write to 13-year-old Sophie? What would I say that would touch her, that would make her want to live another day, that would make her want to fight? This is my attempt to write to 13-year-old Sophie and any other 13-year-old, 14-year, 15-year-old, 16-year-old Sophie. This conference is about you, the girls that are here that are child domestic workers. This is about you. It's always been about you, and it will always be about you. Dear Sophie, I know you are confused. Most of the time, I know you ask why this happened to you, as if you had some role to play in someone abusing you. I want to remind you that you have no responsibility in this. This is not about you. There is nothing about this situation that is justified. It is not your fault. Sophie, I'm going to need you to remember that. I'm going to need you to remember that this is not your fault, because you will struggle for years. You will ask yourself whether there was anything you could do to prevent this from happening to you. The answer is there's nothing, absolutely nothing a child should do to protect themselves from violence. There's nothing a child should do to prevent violence from happening from them. It has always been the role of adults to protect children from violence and to prevent violence from happening to them. Sophie, I know that before this, you loved crying. Because let's face it, you are Pisces. It doesn't help much. You also have big emotions. This experience will dry your tears, every single one of them. You will not cry for years, but the emotions, they stay there. They bubble. They live under the surface. Sometimes they haunt you. Sometimes they whisper, but they are there. This emotion, some of them people see once in a while and they say it's passion. You are passionate. But these are your emotions. They remain part of your charm and gift to the world. Who would know? Your tears, they come back. They will come back. And when they come back, they will bring you healing. Because the universe knows that we have always had the power to heal ourselves first. I repeat that. Our tears and the tears will come, and you will shed them, and they will wash you, and they will heal you, because we've always had the power to heal ourselves first. Your tears, apart from healing you, will birth poetry. Your emotions will birth poetry that will continue healing you long before any other therapist gives you tools for helping you to heal. I repeat, you will see many therapists, but none of them will be able to do the healing that your tears do and your pen does. The healing comes eventually. It comes. It drags, it tarries, and sometimes the darkness swallows you, and you think you will die. Many times, it almost feels like you die. But I'm here to remind you that this doesn't kill you. This situation doesn't kill you. I'm here to remind you that, in fact, out of this darkness, you somehow manage to dream. I know it's difficult to dream when you don't know whether today is guaranteed, when you don't know whether the pain that you feel, the heartbreak in your heart, today is the day that it will take away your breath. But you dream. And you do not only dream for yourself, but for many others that come alongside you, beside you, and you fly. Girl, you fly. In fact, you are known for your dreams. They're epic. You see what others cannot see because you learn that our trauma shouldn't define us. It can make us pause. It can make us reflect. It can give us a lens. And it does give us a lens, a better lens to see so many things. But it never defines us. You not only dream, but you create those dreams. You make blueprints and maps that others can use. Some call you delusional, but those that know you know that you are stubborn and have the innate power to create without a map and remain unafraid of failing. You fail many times, but you win so many more times. And trust me, this experience remains a glitch in your almost perfect story. I know you can't believe that your story can be perfect, but yes, this experience remains a glitch in your almost perfect story. It doesn't define you. Finally, I know you question love and question whether you are loved or will be loved. I'm here to remind you that the greatest superpower that you have is that you are loved, and that you are loved so deeply and so intentionally. You teach people that what brings you alive, that what makes your survival story different is that you are loved. You are loved by your parents, you are loved by your family, and girl, you are also loved by your husband. Yes, you get married. I know it's really hard for you to believe that you actually get married, but you do. You're loved. I repeat, you're loved by your family because your mama actually rescues you. As you grow up, you remind people that less than 10% of survivors are rescued by the police. In most cases, love for themselves or by others remains the number one way they save themselves. I'll repeat, less than 10% of survivors, less than 10% of children are rescued by the police. Love for themselves and their willingness and stubbornness to fight and live is what rescues them. I'm here to tell you that your stubbornness allows you to weave a community that shows love for each other, and a community that is stubborn enough to think that they can be the movement. That's who you are. You remember and consistently tell people that community is the foundation, the mirror, the roots, and all that we should aspire to be, and that community can and should only be created by codes of love. Finally, you love books. Who knows? You might write one. You love poetry. And so I'll finish with a poem, because if there's one thing, you'll remember a poem. And the poem is by Andrea Gibson. What can't be broken? Trauma was not being able to get the hands of the clock off me. Healing was learning no one has ever laid a finger on the part of me that's infinite. Yes, survivor, you are infinite, my love. You are infinite. And no one has ever laid a fingerprint on the part of you that's infinite. Thank you so much, friends and colleagues. I hope your discussions today and the next 2 days are the reason 13-year-old Sophie would need to survive and thrive. I'm sorry that I could not be with you in person, but I hope this message gives you hope and sets the tone for this convening and for this community that is coming together, and that we will think about people first, and that means thinking about child domestic workers first. Thank you, and I hope you have a nice time talking and having discussions. Bye.